Nelson Mandela. Many know him as the former president of South Africa. An anti-apartheid activist who was sent to jail many times for various different reasons, such as organizing a supposedly illegal strike and not having his proper documents, etc. I think we can all agree, if he had never gotten out of jail, a big part of the whole world's history would have been erased, and South Africa would be a lot different than it is today. What if I told you, though, that a lot of people actually thought he never got out of jail? A woman by the name of Fiona Broom, who is a paranormal researcher, attended a conference in 2010 where she found out a lot of people had actually remembered Nelson Mandela dying in jail. They reported seeing his funeral live on television and remembered the nationwide mourning of his death. He wasn't even dead at the time of the conference. He was still alive and well, but it was weird because so many people had shared this idea that he was dead, that he died in prison, when in reality he didn't. And it wasn't just one person. It was a lot of people who remembered this. From there, Fiona Broom, the paranormal investigator, had coined the term the Mandela effect to explain this phenomenon of so many people misremembering the exact same thing. And the idea about the Mandela effect wasn't the fact that people were just misremembering something. It was the fact that a lot of people were misremembering the same thing in the same way. This term was coined in 2010, but its popularity started to pick up when one particular example of this phenomenon came to light, and it was super controversial at the time, and honestly still is, and that is the Berenstain Bears. The Berenstain Bears was a series created by Stan and Jan Berenstain that made its debut in 1962 as a book and eventually spread into other platforms such as TV shows and movies, telling the story of a family of bears, just a bunch of different stories about the bears and how they lived as family members, and they loved each other. This show was extremely popular for both children and parents, and I believe it is still continuing to this day as a series, so that's great. It has lost its popularity, but it used to be very popular. So the controversy comes along with the name of the series, the Berenstain Bears. A lot of people, actually, including myself, especially when I first heard about this, remember it as the Berenstain Bears, spelt S-T-E-I-N, but in reality it is the Berenstain Bears, S-T-A-I-N, which was a very hard pill to swallow for some people because it was a very close show to their hearts. So that's when the Mandela effect really started picking up, when this specific example came to the light of a lot of people remembering it spelt a different way than it actually is. So after the whole Berenstain Bears thing, it started to grow in popularity, and people started to look for other examples of it to see if it happened in everyday life. So I actually wanted to test this myself and see if some of my friends fell victim to the Mandela effect. Hi, what's your name?
Hi.
Lola.
Nick.
Madison Rupp. Elizabeth Lyon. Jamie Privazerski.
Thomas. Warren.
So we're gonna play a little game. I'm gonna give you two pictures. You have to basically pick which one you think is correct. It has to be your first instinct. So literally look at them and pick. I will not let you change your answer. One of them is right and one of them is wrong, and we will talk about it at the end.
Round one.
Which one do you think?
Left.
It's that one, the T-U-N-E-S.
I think it's that one.
My side.
This one.
Next, go.
Right.
This one?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Right.
Bernstein.
I don't remember.
Bernstein.
I actually don't know I don't know what it is, so I'm just gonna say this one. I think it's Bernstein.
The my side. This one.
I can't even see it. Oh my god, I loved these.
Bears. Period.
What is the difference? The E.
Okay, next, go this one.
Left. Definitely left.
So you think this one?
Yes.
No, it's this one.
Okay. Go. Which spelling do you think is correct?
Definitely that one. I think I grew up on Skechers. It's right. It's left.
I think this one. This one.
There's no T.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay, cool. Cool. Next one. 3, 2, 1. Go.
Left.
No tail.
Tail.
Oh, left.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, which one do you think?
I'm gonna say left.
Okay. Go.
Left. I think left.
And no dash.
I think it has a dash.
Right.
I
Right
see it
side.
different. This one.
You.
Loki think it's right.
You think it's with the monocle?
With the monocle.
He has a monocle.
Yeah.
Left.
One.
And this is the last one. Are you guys ready for the last one?
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready, set, go.
Oh, light work.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the last one. How do you guys feel about being on the last one?
I'm kind of sad. I love this.
What do you think?
Black tail.
You all think it's this one?
Yeah.
This is the final one, I believe. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready to win.
Okay. Innate reaction.
This
one.
Left.
Did you guys know about the Mandela effect before this little interview?
Yes.
I have heard of the Mandela effect before.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm doing an essay on it right now.
I feel like I've seen it on TikTok, but I don't know exactly what it is.
Yes.
So pretty much all of them, as you could see, knew about the Mandela effect before this little interview, and I was curious to see like how they found out about it, you know, if it was a lot of the same source or if all of them just kind of heard about it from different sources. So I did ask them that as well. And how did you find out about it?
I've just like, well, one reason is the one show.
What show?
I think it's called The Mandela Effect.
Okay.
Like the same channel as some Practical Jokers.
Okay, and how did you find out about it?
I just remember seeing a whole bunch of like TikToks being like, oh, crazy Mandela effects, and me being into those.
Shane Dawson.
Shane Dawson.
Shane Lee Yoss.
I think just like YouTube when I was like 5.
Who in specific did you hear it from?
Shane Dawson.
Watch Mojo.
Shane Dawson, a popular YouTuber who has 19.1 million subscribers. So he's very popular. Just to preface, I do not support Shane Dawson in anything he does. But yeah, he used to do a lot of YouTube videos on conspiracy theories, and like that was when I used to watch him, and when I personally think he was at his peak content, when he was doing those conspiracy theory YouTube videos and people would watch them. So they were super, super popular, and he basically just, like every video, he outlined a couple, like 2 or 3 conspiracy theories. He was a very important part in spreading these conspiracy theories, especially people of my generation, because that's like who mostly was watching them. So one of his most popular videos, probably one of his first, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, like on conspiracy theories, outlined the Mandela effect. And I believe that most of our generation has heard of the Mandela effect because of him. Now, I've talked a lot about the Mandela effect and the effect it has on people, but I really haven't gone into why people think this happens and why does it really happen. If we're gonna stick to the conspiracy theory route, the main idea of the Mandela effect is essentially that it's proof that parallel universes do actually exist. A lot of people tend to think that we were in one universe at one point and something happened, like a time traveler came and changed something, or there was like something wrong with the planets or whatever, and somehow we shifted from one universe to another universe that basically paralleled ours with small changes. So people think that the mass majority of people remembering something a certain way is actually people remembering it from the other universe. So obviously this explanation is not epistemologically sound. It is purely based on faith and memory, and actually human memory has been found to be extremely not reliable and malleable, which means it is easily manipulated and easily changed, which is why eyewitness testimonies are not reliable. So they've kind of tried to move past just using those. So a psychologist named Elizabeth Loftus actually wanted to study the reliability of the human memory. Hi, this is Editing Ruthie. I would just like to come in and say that my explanation for this study was way too long for this video. Essentially, people were claiming that they saw Bugs Bunny in the Disney parks when that's impossible because Bugs Bunny is not a Disney character. And the reason that they claimed that was because they were shown edited advertisements with Bugs Bunny in them. Boom. That kind of just is one of the studies of many that proves that human memory is very easily manipulated and not very reliable. So it wouldn't be a shock, you know. That is one of the biggest things of the Mandela effect, is that it's basically banking on the memory of people, and that is so easily manipulated. Because of that, there are many other explanations as to why the Mandela effect could happen. So there are a few more realistic theories as to why the Mandela effect actually occurs. The first theory that I'm going to talk about is called the schema theory. Schema theory basically states that we take our previous experiences and our previous memories and knowledge and apply it to things that we are seeing currently and kind of make judgments and inferences based on that. It also could be applied in a different way where we kind of make these archetypes of characters and compare similar characters. An example of that is like the Monopoly Man. We expect him to have a monocle because his character archetype, you know, the rich Monopoly Man would have the hat and the cane and the monocle. There's also a similar character, Mr. Peanut. So Mr. Peanut has the top hat and cane, and he does have a monocle. So, you know, since he's a similar character archetype to the Monopoly Man, you know, people just could associate them together. So the final theory that I will be discussing, and the one that I personally think makes the most sense, is the confabulation or unintentional distortion of memories. So this basically goes along with Loftus and how memory is super unreliable and very malleable. As defined by William Harstein, confabulation, or the confabulation of memories, are stories produced to cover gaps in memory. Basically, if you don't remember something, people make it up. That's basically what he's saying. It could possibly be due to a fracture in one's epistemic system. So that is typically associated with the brain's frontal lobes, which explains why they don't experience doubt about their beliefs. The claims are epistemically ill-grounded because they haven't passed the review process that real memories and real epistemically sound claims, they go through that review process that could instill doubt in people. So basically, like, you know, real beliefs, like good claims, could be falsifiable. These confabulated memories seem just as clear and detailed as events that actually happened in your life. I really think this theory and the schema theory kind of go hand in hand, where we have these assumptions, we make the assumptions even if it's not true based on our past experiences, which is schema, and then this theory where when we don't have a memory about something, we kind of just make it up. And because of that, we use our past experiences and we use our schema to be able to make these inferences. And since these confabulated memories are so vivid and so clear, that we just kind of assume they're true with no thought process, no review process, no doubt in our minds about them. So that's what I really think the Mandela effect is. Unfortunately, there will never really be any way to disprove it, though. And that's kind of one of the things as to why the Mandela effect isn't super sound, because it's not falsifiable. You can't sit here and prove that the Mandela effect doesn't exist because it's all based on ideas. It's not based on physical proof. The physical proof is our memory, which, as proved by Loftus and many other psychologists and other researchers, it is not reliable. But that doesn't mean that people still aren't going to think that. As much as we'd like to, I doubt we will ever get the technology to be able to actually see people's minds. And the brain is such a complex organ in our bodies. Like, there is a huge chance that we will never really know, like, the extent to what the human mind can do, and like the extent to how the human mind works, and like why our memories aren't reliable and why we can do this stuff. We will never really get those answers. I mean, if we do, great. Until then, we will never know really why. We could theorize why the Mandela effect occurs, but most people just choose to believe that it happens because of a parallel universe and because it's easier to understand. Like, humans crave reasons. Humans crave an explanation. This world is so complex and this world is so intense and it's so confusing, and getting answers in such a confusing and complex world, it gives us comfort. It gives us a sense of control. That's why people are religious, and because they need to believe that things happen for a reason. People need reasons. It's what makes them live. So the Mandela effect gives a solid explanation as to why we forget these things, as to why we remember them different ways. It might not be provable and it might not be right, but it gives us something.